Without a doubt, one of the greatest challenges my colleagues and clients come to me with is time management. Everybody today is so busy and trying to cram so much into their day, and they're having a hard time getting it all done. So I take them back to my strategic planning framework because, after all, failing to plan is planning to fail. And what I have my people do, and I do it myself, is every day in the morning, take some time out to say, what's my mission for today? What do I want to accomplish? And I set aside time every morning when I'm doing my swim to think about what are the 3 or 4 big things that I want to get done today and that are non-negotiable. And everything else that comes my way needs to be put aside until those things are accomplished. I had one physician take a course of mine, my Business of Life course, and this became a big issue for her. So I worked with her in the course and a bit afterwards to figure out what she could do. And I said, what are your goals? She said, I need to see my patients, but the demands of clinical documentation and all of the paperwork are getting so great. It's really sucking the joy out of my day, and I'm not getting home to see my family. It's just not okay. So we set goals for her that she was going to get home by 6 o'clock to be with her family every day, no matter what. So we looked at what she herself had to accomplish. She had to see her own patients. She had to write up what happened in those visits. So we set that aside. That's something she's going to do. And we looked at how she could do that more efficiently, and we signed her up for classes to learn how to use her electronic medical record more efficiently. That bought her some time. Then we looked at some of the things that she was doing that other people could do and what she could delegate. So filling out camp forms and school forms and writing letters of recommendation were things that she could delegate to some other people. Some things she discovered didn't need to be done at all, so they just came off of her list. And as we did some diagnosis and treatment for her, we looked at her calendar and how she was actually spending her day, and we discovered that she was an email addict, as many people we know are. So to deal with that problem, we had her turn off the sound on her computer so she didn't get an alert every time they came in and felt compelled to go and answer them. And we had her schedule email time. So she had a little time in the morning and a half an hour in the afternoon, and she had to hold herself to that and go cold turkey the rest of the day. That allowed her to stay on point and on task to get much more efficient. And in those rare moments where she couldn't get her work done by 6 o'clock, she still went home, had dinner with her family, and after her child went to bed, completed that work, but really tried to hold that to a minimum. A couple years later, I was delighted to see her at a party, and she was so thrilled that the things that she had learned were so successful that she and her husband had agreed they would have a second child, and they've been making sure that they continue the tradition of having dinner at 6 o'clock every night.